if you're not making sales from your Pinterest pins, I'm going to show you exactly why in this video and how to fix it. Pinterest changed my life. It was the reason I walked away from my corporate 9-to-5 life and made my first 6 figures online selling digital products, but only because I figured out how to turn Pinterest into a traffic machine. That means that I use Pinterest to get people to find my digital products every single day. It's the reason why I didn't have to post on social media and why I did this without having barely any followers to start with. And so in this video, I'm breaking down the mistakes that are stopping people from getting sales from Pinterest, how to fix them, and the 3 steps that you need to follow so that you can always turn your Pinterest views into actual sales, okay? So let's start with how Pinterest actually makes you money. We're just gonna recap the funnel here. Now, for this to work, you need to actually be selling something, whether that's your own digital product or an affiliate marketing offer. I 100% recommend your own digital products. It's way more profitable and you can actually have way more control over it, right? So if you wanna create that in 24 hours, I've left a link to something below that will help you out. Now, once you have your product, Pinterest's job is to get people to the page where you are selling your product. This is what we call traffic. Now, Pinterest can do this in 2 ways. Either directly, so that when someone clicks on your pin, they land on your product page and they can buy straight away, or indirectly. That means that when someone clicks on your pin, they land on something like a blog post or even your freebie, they get value from it, and then from there are links to your digital product. In the case of a freebie, you would then be sending them emails to buy your digital product. And so that is your super simple Pinterest funnel. But it only works if Pinterest is actually getting people to your product, okay? So here's the 3-step process. I'm gonna outline all of the mistakes that I see people making at each stage and how to fix it. Okay, so here we have the Pinterest money making formula. Now, the first step is actually getting views on your Pinterest pin. This means that as someone is scrolling through Pinterest, you want them to be able to see your pins, okay? And so what you need here is keywords. Keywords are one of the most important thing, if not the most important thing, to getting your pin in front of people, right? So if you don't have the right keywords, then guess what? Pinterest doesn't know who to show your pins to. I actually have an entire video. It's a 90-day strategy that goes into how to find your keywords. It's really simple, but the best way to do it is just to use the Pinterest search bar, start typing things related to your niche, and your keywords will come up. This is how you get your pins found. Now, there's a couple of other things that you should keep in mind when you're trying to get your pins in front of people, or Pinterest to actually push your pins. You need to keep in mind the volume, okay? So you should be aiming for 5 pins a day. Now, this might feel like a lot, but this is not like TikTok or Instagram. You can batch all of your pins, and all you need is to change your text, change your colors. So you don't have to make huge changes to your pins in order for them to be considered a fresh pin, like a new pin, right? So I personally, I batch all of my pins. I can batch out 5 pins a day for a month in literally 1 day, okay? Like literally one Saturday, I'll sit there and batch all my pins. So you need to do the same, right? So if you've got keywords and you're pinning consistently, your pins should be getting views, okay? And if you're not getting views, this is the first thing to work on, your keywords, and then the second thing to work on is your volume. Now you need to get clicks. So it's all well and good people seeing your pins and you having really high monthly views if no one's clicking on them. If people aren't clicking on them, that means they are never finding your digital product. So here, what you need to work on is your hooks. So the content on your pins, actually they need to be interesting, they need to be clickable. And so what you want this to be is either solution based. So you want to be telling people basically what they can get from your pin. 5 tips to lose weight. If you're a woman that's just had a baby, for example, they know that when they click on that, they're going to go through to a blog page with 5 tips, right? So you need to make it really clear what solution, what's the a reason for them to click on your pins. The other way you can do it is talking about the pain point, okay? So have you just given birth and you have no idea how to get back into your fitness routine? That is a pain point. That is speaking to somebody's pain point. So they're kind of the opposite of one another. Both will get the attention of your audience. Now, you can also do story pins. These work well. How I lost 10 pounds after giving birth. That would be a story pin. I would be telling a story. By the way, these are just random examples, none of them about me. I haven't actually even given birth, okay? So then you can do like a story. And what this does is it also gives you credibility, right? It gives people a reason to trust you. You're not just talking about a solution. You're actually showing how you personally was able to like get results, right? And then the last type of pin here, or the last type of hook really, is your freebie pin, okay? This is also similar to solution, but this is talking about what are people gonna get for free. Not every pin needs to be a freebie pin, but you do need to have some, okay? People need a reason to click on. Now, another thing you need to consider is your CTAs. We call this your call to action. Are you telling people clearly what to do, why they should click on your pin? So click here for the free guide, click here to read the blog post, click here to get my tone up workout routine, right? Are you telling people specifically what to do next? This is a CTA, this is a call to action. Whenever I do Pinterest audits inside my community, this is the number one thing I call out for nearly every single student. You haven't made it clear that people need to click on your pin to get to the next stage, and you wouldn't believe it, but people actually need to know this. Now, similar to the hooks, we do actually need good titles and descriptions. Okay, this goes back to your pins being interesting. Now, what will happen is someone will see your pin and they will first look at your hook, right? They will first look at the content that's on the pin, and then they may also look at your title and description once they've expanded your pin, okay? So they'll click on your pin, they'll expand the pin, they'll see the title and description. Are these interesting, right? It's important for you to have keywords, but they also need to be interesting, and they also need to tell people why to click on the pin. You can probably see a pattern forming here, all right? And so these are the three things we're going to look at, but also I'm going to write over here, blogs and freebies are really important here. I talk about freebies already, but I just want to drive this point home. Not every single one of your pins should be buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. There is no value exchange. What you got to remember is people are coming across your pins. They've never met you a day in your life. These are usually static pins. You know, there are some video pins, but for the most part, most pins on Pinterest are static, right? They're not just gonna buy straight away. They need to see something from you. You need to be able to give them some sort of value, and this is the same on any platform, which is why we make great YouTube videos, to give value, right? And so you need to do the version of that on Pinterest, which is to also have some value-driven blog posts and freebies as well. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, what's the percentage? How often do I send people through to my digital product versus my freebie versus my blog? And what I've learned after working with literally hundreds of entrepreneurs on this at this point is that it varies for your niche, okay? It can be different for different industries. And so this is why you need to be doing research, okay? What I find is that when I speak to a lot of these students that have views but don't have clicks and don't have sales, they've done absolutely no research. They don't know what other pins are performing well in their niche, and that is a mistake. Once you start doing research, you'll start to see, okay, actually a high percentage of the pins that are doing well in my niche are blog posts, or they're going to freebies, and so you would then mirror that strategy. Now, there is a free tool, it's called Keywords Everywhere. I am not sponsored by them. I don't have an affiliate program. I just think they are great because they show you, and I've spoke about this in other videos, it shows you the numbers on the other pins, right? So what pins are getting liked, what pins are getting saved, what pins are getting clicked on. Use this extension, do the research, find out what's working well in your niche and mirror that in your strategy. And this is the same strategy you would apply for any single platform that you are promoting on. It works on YouTube as well. Find what does well and do more of that. Okay, so now we are going to talk about sales. Now people are going to your digital product page, but if they are not buying, there are two things that you need to be working on. First thing is your actual digital product. Usually the issue is that your product is too broad. You're trying to do too many things. It is not focusing on a specific problem. And so the best thing that you can do here is just go and brainstorm this with AI, right? Open up Claude, give it a screenshot of your digital product page with all the information and ask it some tough questions. Is it specific enough? Is this product a no-brainer for your audience? Is there a real reason for someone to buy your product and not just get the information free from AI? This is one of the things I need all of us business owners to be very aware of, okay? Our product needs to solve a very specific problem, but not only that, it has to be an urgent problem. It's not something that someone might solve in 2, 3, 4 months time. They need to have it solved now. I love this example from a student. She actually started off with creating a whole course around how to have an aesthetic morning routine, right? And it was very cute, very Pinterest-esque, but no one really wanted it. Like, who really wants that? People will like that content on YouTube, they might watch it, but no one cares for a course about how to have an aesthetic morning routine. But what people actually care about is how to get all of their work done before 10 a.m, how to get in the gym before 6 a.m, how to get their kids off to school and not have a mental breakdown or mental meltdown, okay? These are the urgent questions. These are the things that are really affecting someone's day-to-day life. And so you need to make sure your digital product solves that urgent problem. Now, if you're like, oh, I'm looking at this and my product isn't specific enough at all, Rochelle, then I do have a product down below that will help you create a very specific product in 24 hours, okay? So I've linked that below. Now, the next thing that you need to focus on, if you're happy that your digital product is very specific, you need to focus on your sales page, okay? And this is the issue for a lot of people. They do the work and I'm proud of you. They get the pins, they get the clicks, they spend time creating a really good digital product, and then their sales page lets them down because they are not saying the right things on the page that makes people want to buy. They are not communicating the problem that their digital product solves. They are not using the language that their audience is using. And to be totally honest, it doesn't matter how good your digital products are, how good your pins are. If you're sending them through to a page that isn't doing the selling for you, you've literally wasted all your time and effort. And so this is why my next project is going to be to create a tool to help you create those sales pages for you. A bit like Pin Perfection that creates all your titles and descriptions for you. I'm gonna do that for sales pages. So if that's something that you want, comment sales below so I know the things that are stopping you from turning your views into sales. And so your first step has to be to make people stop scrolling on Pinterest and actually click your pin. I made a video showing you the exact types of pins that you should post to get clicks and go viral. Go watch that video next and I'll see you there.